So, so just kind of reviewing what you're using it. So we're going to talk about, it's called EPOC, and it's exercise post-oxygen consumption. So it's talking about, okay, I burned this many calories during these 30 minutes. And this is an average 150-pound person. But what happens to your body afterwards? Okay, so you went to the gym 30 minutes. Now you're shifting over into work here. Does anything happen? Ton of stuff happening from your body. So EPOC, it's a measure, just kind of starting out from the top, of how much intake you have during activity. Okay, and as you recover, okay, oxygen is used to kind of rebuild your muscles, balance your hormones, get your blood flowing back to your muscles, get everything kind of on that level playing field. Okay, and it requires energy to do that. Okay, so the more energy that I just used up during my workout, the more energy that it's going to take to bring me back to that level state. Okay. So knowing that, you're going to go ahead with the increased intensity of your exercise. Your EPOC is going to last even longer. Okay. So we're going to shoot up to this one real quick. So this one has a couple different things to look at here. So the light blue one is what we looked at on the first chart. Okay, and that's your calorie burn during those 30 minutes. Okay, and there's studies show that your EPOC can be 3 hours, it could be 16 hours, it could be all the way up to 24 hours after you work out. Okay, so on average, it's showing right now that 3 hours after your workout, you're still burning up to 16% of what you burned. Okay. So if you're walking on the treadmill or on the elliptical and you're at that steady state, okay, and I burned, 100 or so calories, 150 calories, I shot up maybe 10, okay, 10 extra calories, okay. After the 16 hours, I burn about 4% of my total caloric burn, okay. And then the last one is, so after 16 hours, what did I really burn? Okay. So going through, you can see again, the higher the intensity, the more the calorie burns. Not just within that 30 minutes, but within 4 hours, 3 hours, 16 hours. Okay. So not everybody can train at high intensity. Okay. I would say for most of you guys that have been in class, you're here. Okay, if you're starting out, you can be in between here. Okay, both. You, of course, modify it to what you can do and, any injuries that you have. Even though this is the only thing that is burning fat while you do it, since you are in the aerobic state after those 30 minutes, because you're just sitting, okay, you are burning fat throughout the day then, okay? So, if you go on the treadmill or the bike and it says fat burn, and we choose fat burn, it's going to take us at a nice, easy pace, and it's going to expect that you're going to be there for a little while. Okay? Your total calorie burn is going to be less than if you did an interval workout, a heart rate training workout. Okay? So, if your goal is weight loss or fat loss, I do not recommend the fat burn workout, because your total calorie expenditure over that 30 minutes or even 24 hours is going to be way less than if you chose something else. I'm not saying never do the fat burn, don't do the fat burn, but if you have 30 minutes and that's it, that's all you have, and those are your two goals, weight loss, fat loss, you're going to be more beneficial long term to go ahead and do some type of interval or strength training workout. Does that make sense?
Well,
yeah. Any questions?
I mean,
why you ain't been doing that?
What if you don't want to lose any more weight? But you want to just maintain and just build your muscle, then what should you do?
So if you want to build muscle, then you're here in weight training. If you want to build your muscle as well as your cardiovascular fitness, then you're here.
Is that with maintaining though?
Mm-hmm.
So you're still there.
You're still going to be in either one. So depending on what's more important, you know, is it just strength? Then you're here. If it's both, if you also want to improve your cardio, you know, then you definitely need to train in both. Your makeup during the week of those might shift slightly. So, you know, you may be doing more weight training and then 1 or 2 of these days with the interval combination. So. Any other questions?
Okay, going back to what you said, like, if you work out on an empty stomach. Okay, so if I have a breakfast today and then work out during the lunch hour, is that considered an empty stomach, or because I had breakfast, I'm okay?
So the question is kind of, you know, if you have breakfast early in the morning and then you work out at lunch, do I have enough fuel? It's a start. Our body can process stuff fairly quickly depending on your metabolism. My recommendation always is to go every 3, maybe 4 hours. Don't go past the 4-hour mark of not eating because we start to shut down our body. So depending on what time you eat, okay, let's just say you eat at 6 a.m. I know you eat earlier, but if you eat at 6 a.m., okay, your next snack or meal should be at 9 or 10. Okay, if you're working out at noon then, that's a perfect time slot, 2 to 3 hours. But you know your body, you know what it can handle before a workout. You know, some people can handle a piece of pizza and then go work out. You know, it just depends, you know, and I'm not saying you eat the pizza. But, you know, but you know your body and kind of what you can handle.
Not a whole
I mean,
pizza.
a pre-workout snack should be anywhere between 90 minutes to 3 hours prior to your workout. And it definitely wants to be more carbohydrate focused because that's what you're using most likely during your workout. Carbohydrate source. Okay, so kind of going back to intensity, okay, and where your intensity is at between those 3 levels, okay? So again, if you're training for a marathon, you're probably never going to be in that high intensity zone. And if you are, it might be 1 day out of the 6 days of your training. Okay? So it really depends on what your goal is. Okay, this is talking about weight loss and fat loss, but if you have a specific goal in mind that you're training for an event, okay, all this is going to shift again as far as your intensity and what zone you're training in. So I want everybody to write down or just think about it if you don't have a piece of paper, what is your CTA, so your call to action, okay, as far as your intensity. What are you going to modify within the next week to change your intensity? Okay, kind of figure out what zone you're training in. And then think about, you know, which training zone you're never in, or which one, what you can do to go ahead and add in an exercise or 2 to go ahead and change that up. So the next part is progression. Okay. So it says, if you can't see it, I rode, okay? Every day, okay, we come in, we do the same thing. I went on treadmills today. I went on treadmills today. I did the ellipticals today. I did the bike, okay? We need to progress what we're doing. Our body is extremely smart, okay, and it adapts right away, okay? So doing the same exact thing over and over again, our body, after 2 weeks, maybe 3 weeks, says, I know what you're doing. You're going at a 4.0 on that treadmill. We're not putting any incline on, and we're going to be here for 30 minutes. That TV show's on. This is where I'm at. I'm going to hold on to the ratings. Okay? So, it's done that. So, anyhow, our body knows it adapts. Okay? Just like same thing, routine. We come in, we have our coffee, we sit down, we turn our computer on. Okay, we have to change it up. Got to keep our minds fresh, got to keep our bodies fresh. So any type of change, okay, so if the treadmill is your comfort level and that's where you want to stay, okay, that feels good on your body, you have no injuries with it, put a little incline up. Maybe instead of going at that same speed, say, hey, for the next minute, I'm going to go a little faster, okay? I'm going to do a little faster and a little incline, okay? Your body has to adapt to that, okay? Or say, hey, I'm going to do 10 minutes, and then I'm going to go 10 minutes here, and I'm going to try this new machine that goes side to side. Looks a little crazy. Okay, but I'm going to change it. because again, our